Okay, so I read some abortion debates, not read, watched, and I wrote down some counter arguments to the pro-abortion thing, and I'm gonna just kind of sit here and maybe like talk through some shit. I don't know, just trying to find a rebuttal to these arguments. The first one, it is a living being, aka it's not just your body anymore. I've been doing a lot of research into this, and it's really just it depends on what your idea of living is. This is something I don't think anyone will ever truly agree on. This is such a debatable topic. I don't think science has a real answer, and I don't think religion has a real answer on what's living, what's not. I don't know. There's so many different definitions of living throughout science, throughout religion, throughout everything. I think this one kind of really just goes up to personal belief. Me, myself, and I kind of believe you need a consciousness. I believe you kind of need an array of things. I don't know. You need like a consciousness. You need to be able to, you know, respond to shit. You need to be able to learn. You need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to grow. And, you know, a lot of things you can do as a fetus, but the main thing that a fetus lacks is its consciousness. And, you know, a counter argument to that is that, like, a newborn doesn't have a consciousness. It doesn't know it's alive. I don't know how to explain it to you. Yeah, it does. Because how is its body moving? How is its body doing all this shit? Obviously, its body knows it's alive. Its body knows it's, like, living in the real world because its body is working. If that makes sense, you know. If you have a counter argument to that, shout it out at me. You know, okay, maybe don't yell at me. I don't like when people yell at me. It makes me sad. But yeah, again, this argument is very just up to your personal belief of what living is. I don't think we'll ever truly fully agree on this, especially because a lot of people have a religious belief that goes into this that I and a lot of people lack. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. Religion, cool, A-okay, beautiful. I truly have no problem with that. I think religion's beautiful. But I also believe that religion should not impact our laws. You know, separation of church and state is a thing for a reason. The second thing is that abortion is being used as like a birth control. And I know we're all getting this idea, and it's from the internet because we kind of, I haven't personally had an abortion. I'm pretty young, you haven't had anything. I am on birth control though, so I was lucky, very, very lucky to have parents that understood that I was going to have sex no matter what, and they put me on birth control. I'm very grateful for that. And I don't understand how it could be used as birth control. Abortions take a pretty big physical toll on your body, physical and mental. A lot of people think it doesn't take any toll mentally on you. It absolutely does. Abso-fucking-lutely does. It does. And it's just, it also, you physically just can't get an abortion that much. So I just feel like that whole thing is stupid. And also the women who are like, I get abortions five times a month, they're rage baiting you. I don't know how you can't tell that. It hurts my heart that you can't tell that's rage bait, and that they're literally just doing what y'all do outside of the Planned Parenthood, but reversed. So y'all getting through medicine, they're just fucking freaking out. That's really funny to us. 3 is murder. Again, this goes back to the first argument on what constitutes living to you. I don't know how this could be murder. A lot of people like to define abortion as the intentional killing of a child. Like, that's literally how I heard someone describe it at a debate, like a university debate. And I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Because this is, if you're going to debate, at least try to be subtle about your, like, you're trying to get those people to be, that's such a strong starting. It has no scientific backup. That a child, that's just horrifying to say to people. And I just can't imagine saying that abortion is the intentional killing of a child. I don't understand that. It's just, I believe abortion is a medical procedure that is done to get rid of a pregnancy. I don't know. It all comes down to what constitutes living. And I just personally don't believe that is murder. I watched this one Jubilee debate, and a lot of the women in there were like, the pro-life women were like, a lot of women are pressured into abortions. The healthcare workers are very misleading about abortions, that they don't tell you that you're actually killing a living being or something, or that something that has a heartbeat is inside you or that could come out. And I would like to say for most places, I cannot speak for all places. Obviously, there's going to be a terrible gynecology place every once in a while. There's going to be a place that is awful and should not exist, and the people who are pro-choice do not endorse those people. But most places that pro-choice people do endorse, that they usually go to and like to go to, and also, if that has happened to you, horrible, horrifying. I am sorry that happened to you. That is not what pro-choice people want for you or anyone. That's a horrifying experience, and I'm very sorry. But in most good places, I can, of course, not say all, the healthcare workers are genuinely pretty informative and pretty nice. I've gone to a gynecology office, obviously, to, or, I don't know, all that shit, the vagina doctor, to, get my birth control, and they were very informative, giving me all the options, it's just trying to, like, give me a choice, you know, inform me fully, give me all the side effects, give me all the details, give me the pros, give me the cons, give me everything, because they want you to be fully informed, usually those places want you to be fully informed. I, or my friend, was raped, and I did not feel that way. Or I didn't think that way. I didn't want to abort my baby when my friend was, or when I was raped, or my friend didn't want to abort her baby when she was raped. She was perfectly fine with it. This argument just comes down to a lack of empathy. our world has no empathy nowadays, and it's the sad truth. I think if we had a lot more empathy, I think we'd be a much more progressive world. We'd be like a much more, I don't know, cooler. I think that just because, and this is something, honestly, I have trouble with this too. If someone doesn't have the same views as me, I have trouble empathizing with them on certain topics, because I don't know, I'm a stubborn person. What can I say? I'm trying to work on that. But this is kind of where I draw the line when it comes to someone else's trauma, I guess, because I'm not going to tell someone that they can't feel their own way about their trauma because I haven't felt that way, or someone I know hasn't felt that way, because that's not how the brain works. That's not how humans work. We are not the most, but we are very, very complex individuals. Our brain knows no bounds. Everyone reacts to things so differently in such a different, complex way. We will never truly understand each other, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful, is we're all so different. We all have different processing styles, even though they may be similar, but we're all just so very unique, brain-wise, and that's beautiful. So I think this argument is really just a lack of empathy. Okay, so the next argument is there's always adoption. I think this is probably one of the most, I think this argument is most common, and it usually comes from a good place, but this is really the most, like, easily rebutted topic, or, like, counter-argumented topic, because it's just so, it's so shallow-mindedly thought, if that makes sense. I don't think people think about it too hard when they say it, is kind of what I meant. I don't know if that, it's kind of shallow, I don't know. But foster care, surprise, surprise, not a good place. It is filled with a lot of abusive households, a lot of abusive families, just kind of, not only that, it's kind of the exact opposite of what a child needs in their beginning years, which is stability, and, many children also just don't get, a lot of people, the kind of argument is like, well, all couples want newborn babies. The problem with that is that racism and ableism, and a lot of people will turn down a baby of a different race. A lot of people will turn down a baby with a physical or mental disability. And there's a lot of children with that, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. Children are different. They are born differently. They are born with their own characteristics. God forbid. And the sad thing is people don't adopt those children. That is the sad truth. And those children grow up in very split households, or just very, they move around a lot. That's not, and often they move around to abusive households. That is not anything a child should have to go through. That is not a good living quality for a child. It's not a good quality of life, honestly. How would you feel having to move every, like, couple months after getting, as a child, after getting attached to a new parental figure? Like, just imagine how damaging that is on the psyche. And not to mention, your childhood years, your youngest years, are detrimental in forming who you are later. Your childhood traumas are detrimental in forming your lifelong mental illnesses, and forming your lifelong views on the world. And foster care often is a very flawed system. It is not good very often. There's a very low chance that you get a good family, which is sad. A lot of people do it for the pay, which is fucking horrifying to me. I don't, it's not a good system. And I think it's very shallow-minded. It's very, not a well-thought-out argument when, you say that you can just give a baby up to adoption, because, I don't know. I don't think that's a better environment. I feel like, why not just wait? Why not terminate the pregnancy humanely, and wait till you can raise that child in an environment that it deserves? Every child deserves a beautiful, stable, loving, financially stable, emotionally stable, nurturing environment. Every child deserves that. I also like to put out there kind of like the meaning of being pro-choice, because a lot of people either have a skewed meaning of what it is, or just personally don't know that they're pro-choice, but are. Pro-choice does not mean pro-abortion. Pro-choice just truly means letting people have that choice. You could be pro-choice and never want an abortion in your life. You could be Christian and find that not good for you. It truly just, you believe in giving women or people that choice, that you believe in offering them medical help when needed. I don't know, it doesn't come from a place of wanting to harm little babies. We don't want to sacrifice little babies. We're not taking them out limb by limb. We're not, we truly just want the right to choose. We want people to have the right to choose. That's all it means. Pro-life just kind of just means you want abortion to be illegal. You don't want them to have that choice. But pro-choice just means you want them to have that choice. But also, disclaimer, I am very young. I do not have the best words, the best view on this topic. I just want you to take into account that I have a very smaller view in a way. I have not seen everything. I have not experienced everything someone who maybe an adult has, or like adult, I don't know how to fucking explain it. But also that maybe why my word choice is kind of ass. I kind of just like spew shit on here in a way. I don't come up with a written argument beforehand. I kind of say what I review it after, obviously. I don't just kind of spew shit on the internet. That's a bad idea. Don't do that, kids. But I'm sorry if my descriptions are not the best, if they are not the most well thought out. That is why I'm young and I don't have